They're back at it again. The same authoritarian playbook that locked down Wuhan is now being deployed across southern China, but this time the enemy isn't invisible. It's flying. Thousands infected, entire districts sealed, drones in the sky, and quarantine beds that look like something out of a dystopian nightmare. The CDC just issued an urgent travel warning that has Americans asking some hard questions, but here's what's really disturbing. Certain globalist doctors have been predicting disease outbreaks would conveniently emerge during Trump's term, almost like they're hoping to derail his agenda. And when you see what's happening on the ground in Guangdong province, you'll understand why some experts are calling this another weapon of control. So don't look away. And while China locks down over mosquitoes, Americans need to focus on what we can control, our health. As we age, our body's collagen production declines, leading to visible signs of aging like wrinkles, sagging skin, crow's feet, and smile lines. And by the time we reach our 40s, collagen levels have significantly decreased, dropping another 1% each year afterwards. Collagen makes up a third of our skin's protein, giving it structure and strength. So replenishing it is crucial, and that's exactly why I've relied on Ageless Multi-Collagen for years. Of course, you've seen us. They've sponsored this show for a very long time. Now, the formula includes 5 key types of collagen from 4 premium sources, blended into hydrolyzed peptides your body absorbs faster. Every order today donates a meal to a hungry child through nokidhungry.org. Get 51% off at healthwithgary.com. You'll find it linked down below. Now, I'm going to take you back before we get into all the details of what's happening in China right now, because this is a very important video. It provides important context. In early December of 2024, Dr. Peter Hotez oddly predicted that starting on Inauguration Day, January 21st, major infectious diseases events, including more avian flu news, would hit the U.S. It's almost like the current infectious disease psyops were planned. Now listen to his words, and then we're going to get into what's happening in China right now.
The reason why we need to care about this stuff, Nicole, is that we have some big picture stuff coming down the pike starting on January 21st. Mr. Bloomberg mentioned H5N1. That I'm really worried about. It's all over wild birds on the western part of the United States and going up in the north. It's getting into the poultry. We're seeing sporadic human cases, no human-to-human transmission yet, but that could happen. It's in the cattle. It's in the milk. And that's just the beginning. We have another major coronavirus likely brewing in Asia. We've had SARS in 2002, SARS-2, COVID-19 in 2019. And we know these viruses are jumping from bats to people thousands of times a year. But there's still more. We know that we have a big problem with mosquito-transmitted viruses all along the Gulf Coast, where I am here in Texas. So we're expecting dengue and possibly Zika virus coming back, or a Puche virus. Maybe.
Did you hear what he said?
That we have a big problem with mosquito-transmitted viruses all along the Gulf Coast,
wow,
where I am here in Texas. So we're expecting dengue and possibly Zika virus coming back, or a Puche virus, maybe even yellow fever. And there's more. Then we have all this sharp rise in vaccine-preventable diseases going up because...
So, listen to that. That was back in February of 24. Authorities have now released millions of mosquitoes in a disease control program, but China is now experiencing its largest Chikungunya outbreak. China mandating blood tests. China now in lockdown mode. This time it is mosquitoes. Hustle, bitch. Posting that 7,000 plus infected with Chikungunya, a rare mosquito virus. Entire districts in Guangdong sealed off. Patients isolated in mosquito-proof quarantine beds. Drones, fines, chemical sprays, COVID-style crackdown. A virus that doesn't spread person to person, and they're locking people up again. Video emerging from China of them fogging the streets. Here we have BB McGuire posting all the hyperventilating over Chikungunya in China. Remember when in early December we played that? Thousands in China isolated in hospitals, again, as the mosquito virus wreaks havoc. And then now the CDC has issued a travel warning following the outbreak. I mean, what's worse? I mean, getting bit by the mosquito or inhaling that stuff? But what is it? What is Chikungunya? Chikungunya. A travel warning for the outbreak is a virus that is spread.
Mosquitoes, the same mosquitoes that can spread Zika and dengue.
According to CDC, common symptoms are high fever, severe joint muscle pain, headache, fatigue, and skin rash. Most people recover in 7 to 10 days, but in some cases, symptoms can persist for weeks or months.
Even though there are hundreds of thousands of cases a year, it is relatively rare in the United States. But these vector-borne illnesses, these are illnesses spread by bugs, are on the rise. So it is important that we're paying attention to these outbreaks that can happen after monsoons. People are aware and realize that with climate change, hotter and wetter climates, the bugs are happy, and it's up to us to be proactive.
He says because of climate change. The CDC recommends vaccination for travelers visiting areas with active outbreaks and those spending extended time abroad. Experts advise that travelers in the area wear long sleeves and pants, use insect repellent with
communities across the country on alert as cases of mosquito-borne viruses are on the rise. ABC's M. Nguyen is joining us now. And M, these warnings are happening on a very busy holiday weekend. Good morning.
Busy indeed, Wick. Good morning. Yeah, health officials are sounding the alarm amid a rise in mosquito-borne illnesses, including the West Nile virus and Eastern equine encephalitis, or Triple E. In New Jersey, 2 older adults died of West Nile virus. The number of cases in the state now up to 8. It comes just one day after officials in Wisconsin reported 2 people dead because of West Nile. This morning, around 290 cases reported across 30 states. And while most people infected with West Nile don't get any symptoms, 1 in 150 people may develop serious, even fatal illnesses. Now,
So you think lockdowns are going to help this? It's a mosquito. Yeah. CDC issuing a travel warning. Here's more.
The CDC issued. Health officials are warning travelers about a painful mosquito-borne virus. On Friday, the CDC issued a travel warning about an outbreak in South China. It's called Chikungunya. We spoke with 3 different specialists about the disease.
It's a very unpleasant virus. If you get it, it causes severe pain. Most people survive it, which is good. It usually happens within 3 to 7 days after a person's bitten by that mosquito.
Chikungunya is spread by infected mosquitoes, mainly Aedes aegypti, pictured here.
How long has it been around?
It's been around many, many decades. At least we've recognized it for many, many decades.
John Swartzberg said it is an emerging infectious disease. According to the European CDC, there have been about 240,000 infections globally this year. It's been 6 years since someone caught it in the U.S.
It's something that we're probably going to be seeing here in this country with climate change, and that means that the range of the mosquito that transmits this is going to change its range, and that brings it into the United States. The possibility of having chikungunya is definitely real.
A couple of years ago, Aedes aegypti were detected in Santa Clara County. Taylor Kelly works with the Vector Control District in their surveillance division. She helps set traps and monitors populations.
It is a really important mosquito. It's a backyard breeding mosquito, so it's a very serious public nuisance. And it also is able to vector these diseases such as dengue, chikungunya, and Zika virus that are important threats to public health.
Since we do have mosquitoes that can carry chikungunya here in Santa Clara County, people are encouraged to call the health department if they experience any day-biting mosquitoes, unlike the usual times at dusk or dawn.
Again, it's a small black mosquito with white stripes on the body and the leg. You need to let the health department know.
There are 2 vaccinations approved for travelers who are visiting an area with an outbreak. Health officials are warning.
Okay. The fear factor is being amplified. And yeah, it looks like we have a prophet of doom who Did he have inside knowledge of this? I don't know. Let's keep going. Find out more. America's Newsroom discussing the CDC travel warning.
Now, the CDC has issued a level 2 travel warning when it comes to mainland China because of the Chikungunya virus. Now, the virus is not just in mainland China. It's also popping up in Bolivia, island territories in the Indian Ocean, even Central and South America. We'll give you everything you need to know about that. And also the cases of Legionnaire's disease popping up all throughout Harlem, Manhattan, and other places in the United States. Coming up on America's Newsroom. Well, the CDC has issued a...
Let's see, we have this from ABC News Live.
Chikungunya.
Warning from the CDC about an outbreak of chikungunya in China. What do we need to know about that?
Chikungunya is a virus that is spread from two different types of Aedes mosquitoes, the same mosquitoes that can spread Zika and dengue. Now, even though there are hundreds of thousands of cases a year, it is relatively rare in the United States. But these vector-borne illnesses, these are illnesses spread by bugs, such as ticks and mosquitoes, are on the rise. So it is important that we're paying attention to these outbreaks that can happen after monsoons. People are aware and realize that with climate change, hotter and wetter climates, the bugs are happy, and it's up to us to be proactive.
Warning from the CDC about an outbreak of chikungunya.
The bugs are happy, blaming climate change, the usual suspects here. Check this out. This is Fox's take.
Tonight, a viral outbreak in China prompts the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, to issue a travel warning. More than 7,000 cases of this disease have been reported so far. State Department correspondent Jillian Turner has details tonight, live from the State Department. Good evening, Jillian.
Good evening, Brett. The CDC, as you mentioned, is warning Americans traveling to China about chikungunya. It is a virus that spreads to humans through infected mosquito bites. It can cause severe illness with symptoms that mimic pretty closely dengue fever and Zika virus, mostly found in Africa. Here's what the CDC says about it. They say most people infected get better within a week. However, some can have severe joint pain for months to years. Other symptoms include severe fever and fatigue. The outbreak now is in the Chinese province Guangdong. It's near Hong Kong, with more than 7,000 cases reported so far, prompting some pretty dramatic measures to contain the spread, like mandatory insect repellent blasts for people entering the area, mandatory property checks for stagnant water, which attracts mosquitoes, and when found is now punishable by fines or even arrest.
If you happen to get this, they're quarantining you in hospitals with mosquito netting and not letting you out for a week. These are the kind of draconian responses we saw with COVID. We're seeing it again.
The CDC says Americans traveling to 8 other countries are also at elevated risk of exposure to the virus, even if there is no current outbreak there. People at risk for more severe cases of chikungunya include newborns, seniors 65 years and up, as well as people with diabetes or heart disease. Now, the good news is that unlike COVID, deaths from this disease are exceedingly rare. You can also protect yourself by getting vaccinated against it or by preventing mosquito bites in the first place through all the usual mechanisms, insect repellent, netting, wearing long sleeves, and staying in air conditioning. Brett?
Jillian Turner, live.
Yeah, so just get some mosquito netting, some bug spray. Okay. But is this going to be like COVID 2.0? Certainly hope not. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So here we go again. China's communist regime is using mosquitoes as the latest excuse to imprison its own people. 7,000 infected, entire neighborhoods sealed, drones overhead, chemical fog everywhere. It's COVID tyranny with wings, but here's what should terrify every American. Dr. Peter Hotez predicted disease outbreaks by mosquitoes right after Trump took office. Okay? Certainly looks planned. While Beijing deploys its authoritarian playbook again, the CDC rushes out travel warnings and the media starts their fear campaign. They want you scared, they want you compliant, and ready for whatever emergency powers they will demand next. I mean, what simple remedies can you find to fight these viruses? They're out there, but don't expect China, our own health bureaucrats, to admit it. They need the fear, they need the control. So here's my question. Do you believe this outbreak is natural or is it manufactured? Is this COVID 2.0? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you want to support the show. Go on to our Next News gear shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork. The link is down below.